Yeah, happy release eve. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I feel really excited for it. I haven't released for the last year nearly because I've been focusing on writing and just really delving into what I really want to share as an artist. So it's really exciting to be able to go, yep, this one's it's time to come out.
Yeah, and during that time as well, it looks like you've gone through a bit of a rebrand since your last releases as well. So when reflecting on what sort of things you want to put out as an artist, what went through your mind and how did that come out?
I think a lot of what I want to do as an artist now centers around my story and how I grew up. And I think that as Sarah Yagi, I was still healing and I wasn't really ready to share those stories. And I think that over the last few months, I've really gotten to a point where I've gone, I'm ready to share. I think it's, really important to go, these stories are real, they happen, and I want to be the person that can share and also inspire other people. So a lot of the rebrand came from wanting to connect more with my background and wanting to share that.
Yeah, and well done for reaching that point too, because it is such a scary and vulnerable thing to share your story on such a public network. So how do you balance that when like if people know you in real life and they listen to your music as well?
Well, it was funny that you say that because I did a story time video, and one of my friends who I've known for about a decade sent me that video back and replied, and she said that she didn't know that about me and was really supportive. So I think the people that I know, I didn't realize how much I wasn't talking about stuff that was, almost felt a bit taboo to talk about, but I've been really lucky because the people that have known me for the longest have been really supportive. And on the other side of that, I haven't had it at the moment, but if I was to receive any negativity about it, it kind of reinforces the point that those stories need to come out in the first place.
Definitely. And as I said, such a brave thing what you're doing. And it's good to hear that you're, in the spot where you feel comfortable, where you can do this.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that it's been a lot because of that process of songwriting and writing again. And also, I think that it's day to day, I have a very bubbly, energetic personality. And I think really showing off that other side to me and being true to what I'm writing about is really important because the vulnerability and the authenticity in my songwriting's never changed. It's just the openness to go, here's what it's actually about.
Exactly. And this particular song, is that your cat?
Yeah, that's what I get. Yeah,
Your cat.
sorry.
So I'm such a cat person. Hi. Same.
Red Bull.
I love it.
I'll keep him decent so he doesn't. Sorry.
Oh, don't be. I love cats, so I'm all here for it.
Amazing.
Yeah. And this particular release, it explores themes of like detachment, but also like your recovery process as well. So tell me more about that and what inspired this release.
I think that with something I do, it was, oh my gosh, cat. I wrote it about 2 years ago, and I was at a point in my life where there was a lot happening. I was getting myself into really sticky relationships. He's so distracting. I wasn't really connecting with who I was, and to deal with those situations, I was really shutting off, and I didn't have an understanding of why. I knew that it was happening and I was aware, but I think what was really important about this song was that when I wrote it, it's really upbeat, it's really boppy, it's energetic, but there's such eerie undertones to it. And I think that there's a lot of music that I've listened to that, shares about this is happening right now, this is a situation, but I want something I do to go, this is the cause and effect. This is how something so young can affect us now. And I think that for myself, while I am still going to therapy and I'm still understanding myself, it's such an important aspect to go, what's happening now? Why is my behavior like this? And how can I change it to be in a healthier spot for myself and my mental health?
Yeah, and it sounds like through writing the song, it's been a really big healing process for you as well in processing that and then sharing your story with other people as well.
Definitely. And I've been really lucky because I've been able to connect with a lot of people about it. And I think that it just makes me almost, it makes me feel more like a real person. And with the topics that I talk about, particularly in this song, there's always that feeling that I have of like I'm here, but I'm kind of somewhere else. Like I'm outside of my body. But being able to chat about the music and chat about what it's about just helps me kind of ground myself and go, this is me, and that's completely fine.
Yeah, and I think that's a beautiful message for a rebrand as well. It sounds like you've come back really strong and be like, look, I'm my authentic self. This is who I am. This is what my music is, and just connecting with others.
And I really want to do that. I think that, especially in a time where everything's, what is he doing? I
Yes,
just got
I like this
home.
post, so I'm ripping it down.
I just got home not long ago, so I think he's pretty upset that I'm not giving him attention. So I'm so he's just
Oh, you're
there. He's the
fine.
same with you. I think that with social media and with how much music there is out there, I want to make a really big point of myself as an artist that I want to share my story. I want to hear other people's stories, and I want to connect. And that's the biggest thing. I'm not trying to put something out there for the sake of it. I'm not trying to share something because it looks good. I'm trying to share and talk because I think it's, not spoken about enough. And I want to be able to be an artist that I would have needed a few years ago.
Amazing. Yeah, that as I said before, that's such an important message. And I love the music video that goes with it as well, because it puts that visual representation to your story as well. So tell me more about that and what messages you're hoping people take from the video.
I think with the video, I want it to almost be like a fly on the wall. Like you see something, but you're like, should I be watching this? But I kind of can't take my eyes off it. And I think that a lot of that feeling is quite representative of the song, because when you see things happen and things that really shouldn't happen, sometimes it's a situation of, do I keep looking? Do I not look? Do I keep watching? Do I not watch? And the music video goes from a bedroom scene to just a blank studio. It's all focused on colors, and almost each time you see me in a different space, it's a different persona. It's a different mask. It's a different face. And I think that the main scene for me is the red backdrop, the close up in the hands. And that scene in particular was something that I just knew from the start I wanted, because I almost wanted it to feel like I was just a shell of myself and I was letting other people take and take and take. And it's that sense of you just shut off. And during the music video, you can see the feelings grow and you can see that fight try and happen, but in the end I still kind of just stay. So I think that I want people to take away that it's still lighthearted, it's still very visually like beautiful. I love Max who did it, but almost that sense of, should I be watching this? Why do I feel like I shouldn't be watching this? And yeah, that's really the main thing about it.
Yeah, and as I said, it's incredible and it goes hand in hand with, what the song's about and what you're trying to portray as well.
Thank
Um,
you so much.
that's okay. And I'm excited for everyone else to see it as well and, hear the song tomorrow. Do you have any celebrations planned for when it finally comes out?
Well, I was like, I'm gonna go out. And then my producer who wrote it with me is like, do you want to come write some music? And I'm like, okay. So I think I'm gonna be in the studio tomorrow. So I went out with some friends last night, did a little celebration, but I'm just gonna go back and write some more music. So it's a really good, like it's one of those songs that I'm really proud of. And every live show that I've had people come up to me being like, when is it? When you putting it out? Because the chorus is just very earwormy, which I love so much. I'm very, very proud of myself, and I think I'm normalizing that conversation of being proud of yourself as well as an artist. I think it's an important one and something that not a lot of us do all the time. So I'm excited for it. Really, really excited.
Yeah, and that's a huge compliment too when you play it live and people are like, look, just release this. Like, I'm waiting
Yeah,
for it.
definitely. Oh.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier that it's a bop, which is what I love too, because like when you listen to the lyrics, they're dark. When you talk about the inspiration, it's also personal. So how do you balance like the dark themes with like, I'm gonna make this a bop that people can dance to?
I think a lot of it came from, like, inspiration wise was Joji. I love Joji's music. I love how you're kind of just swaying to it, and he's really, like, the topics are heavy, But for myself, I think I was trying to find a way to balance that. How would I sing it? How would I do that? And I really liked that. I think the balance as well is also, I think as an artist, I want to create a really safe space for people to share those stories and also hear stories. So being able to put such a heavy topic in something that does have some safety around it in the bop, that like in the boppiness, I think if that makes any sense, was also quite purposeful as well. I didn't want to, say something so bluntly like that it might accidentally trigger someone. I didn't want to say or be too confronting with my words where someone listens to it and they don't expect it. And I think that while I'm sharing all these stories, and I've been working a lot with a couple of like music charities to really make sure I'm aware of my language and making sure that I'm being safe with my language as well. And I think that was a really big reason around this song because it is so heavy, but also I just wanted to create a sense of safety in it.
That's so important too. Like when you frame it like that, like it's something you don't think of, but then when you think like if you, word it certain ways, you don't know, like the people that listen to it, you don't know what they're going through as well.
Exactly. And I've been really trying hard to get around it because I think it's something that I haven't learnt. I wasn't shown it. I didn't know where to access it. And I've been really lucky to be able to find those resources and find those, support networks where I go, what's the best way for me to say this? How am I going to, put myself in a safe situation, but also put other people that are watching this in a safe situation, especially because there's so much that's out there on the internet and you don't expect it. And I want people to feel inspired and wanting to connect with me. I don't want to accidentally put someone in a situation that can flare up feelings that they don't really want to feel at that time.
Yeah, and it's so nice to hear that that is something that you take into consideration when you write your music as well. Yeah.
Definitely, definitely. And I think I'm very open of the fact that I'm still learning it and I still, if there's a better way that I can say something and that's, in my artistry as a person, I'm so open to be able to go, how can I help connect with people better? How can I be better for myself and for others? And I think that just having those conversations and making sure that I'm, as an artist, doing that really right and making sure that those environments are there for people to feel like they feel safe. And it's a space that they can be intimate with who they are rather than, feel like it's, yeah, flared up really. Because I know how that feels like. And it's hard to kind of feel it unexpectedly.
Yeah, and as I said, I'm really glad to hear that people, artists like yourself are thinking about this and taking this into consideration as well. Yeah.
Definitely. I think there's still a lot more that I personally think that needs to be said about that sort of stuff. I think that there still is a lot to do, but for myself and because I'm around a lot of artists all the time in different spheres of what I do, I really try and make sure that I'm sharing those sorts of messages.
Yeah, beautiful. And yeah, so you mentioned that you're writing some more music. So tell me, like, what do you have planned for the rest of the year? Any live shows you want to plug or anything like that?
I came off a live show a few weeks ago, and the plan for the next few months, releases connect. So using my songs to connect to the stories and to connect to people. And then I'll be doing live shows, headlines towards the end of the year and supports throughout this period. But I think it's also, I wanted a period of time where I could just focus on the music and the stories. And this is the time now, which is really exciting for me.
Yeah, and it sounds like connection is really important to you. So what are some ways people can connect? Like reach out on social media or come say hi at a show?
Honestly, I love people face to face. I think like a Zoom or anything like that, like face to face in live shows, always love reaching out on social media, checking out what I'm writing about, even like commenting on anything as well, so I can see it quite immediately and just, have that connection there. So that's always a great way to do that.
Amazing. Well, that's all my questions. Did you have anything you wanted to add about this release or about yourself or your rebrand that you want people to know?
I think that's really it. We've covered it. So my name's Yagi, and something I do comes out in what time is it? In a few hours.
Amazing. Yeah, it's a great song. I'm so excited for yeah, everyone to hear it.
Thank you so much.